They say the scariest monsters aren't the ones lurking in the shadows. They're the ones living just a few feet away. My name is Joe, and this happened about a week ago. And if you've ever thought about moving in with a stranger, this might make you think twice. At first, Eric seemed normal enough. We met through a Facebook housing group, quiet, polite, awkward, but not in a threatening way. Honestly, that worked for me. I wasn't looking for a best friend, just someone who could pay rent and not trash the place. For the first couple of months, things were fine. We barely saw each other. I work a 9 to 5. He worked late shifts at some warehouse. When I left in the morning, his door was always closed. When I came home at night, he was usually gone. We'd bump into each other in the kitchen maybe twice a week. Polite nods, small talk, nothing more. And then the little things started happening. The first time it was my closet door. I always keep it shut, but one night I came home and it was wide open. I brushed it off. Maybe I forgot. A few days later, I noticed my desk chair had been turned slightly toward my bed. A small detail, but I never sit like that. Again, I told myself I was imagining it. But then, I found the camera. It was a Saturday morning. I was cleaning my room, dusting the shelves, wiping the window. That's when I noticed a tiny black dot in the corner of the wall. At first, I thought it was just a screw. But when I got closer, my stomach dropped. It was a wireless camera, a small one, pointing directly at my bed. I remember my hands shaking as I pulled it off the wall. It wasn't even hidden well, just stuck there with cheap adhesive. There was a slot for a memory card, but the card was gone. That's when the reality hit me. All the nights I'd been sleeping, changing clothes, even being with women in that room, someone had been watching. And there was only one other person with access. Eric. He wasn't home at the time. His door was closed. The apartment was silent. I stood in the hallway, staring at his door, heart pounding. Against my better judgment, I turned the knob. His room reeked, stale food, sour laundry. The blinds were shut, making it dark even though it was midday. His bed was a mess, his desk cluttered with unopened mail and coins scattered everywhere. I searched, half expecting to find more cameras, maybe recordings on his laptop. But there was nothing obvious, just chaos. I closed his door, but the unease clung to me like a second skin. So I set a trap. I tucked the camera in my nightstand, buried beneath socks. If he came looking for it, I'd know it was him. The first 2 nights, nothing happened. But the third night, I woke up at 3 a.m. At first, I didn't know why. Then I heard it soft, careful, wood sliding against wood. My nightstand drawer. I opened my eyes, just a sliver, pretending to still be asleep. In the faint glow of the blinds, I saw him. Eric, standing over me, bent at the waist, rummaging through my drawer. My chest tightened. My heartbeat roared in my ears. I stayed still. Then, he froze, and slowly, his head turned toward me. He stared for a long moment, as if deciding whether I was asleep. And then, in a voice so calm it made my blood run cold, he said, "I know you're awake." The room felt like it collapsed in on me. I shot upright, fear snapping into anger. I demanded to know why he'd planted a camera in my room. He just stared, his eyes empty, and told me it was because he thought I was stealing from him. That made no sense. The camera wasn't pointed at my dresser. It wasn't aimed at my wallet. It was aimed at my bed. I told him it was sick, that it was the most twisted thing I'd ever seen. He kept insisting I was overreacting. His voice calm, almost rehearsed. Finally, I grabbed the camera from the drawer, held it up, and told him I was reporting him to the landlord, maybe even the police. I stormed out, threw the camera into the kitchen trash, and told him to stay the hell out of my room. He didn't fight. He didn't yell. He just stood there, fists clenched, his face blank. And then he walked back into his room, shutting the door without a word. I didn't sleep that night. I sat on the couch with the TV on, jumping at every sound. When the sun came up, I checked the trash. The camera was gone. That was a week ago. I told the landlord. He promised to look into it, but nothing has been done. Eric still lives here. We don't speak, but the way he looks at me when we pass in the hallway, it makes my skin crawl. Like he's waiting, watching, planning. And the truth is, I don't think the camera was about stealing. I think it was something much darker. Something I don't even want to put into words. But one thing is certain. I don't feel safe in my own home anymore. If you were in my shoes, what would you do? Move out immediately or confront him again? Let me know in the comments below. And if you want more true horror stories that will keep you up at night, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss one. Because trust me, stories like this, they're just the beginning.